And for more insight on what this all means, we're joined here in the studio by former U.S. Attorney Guy Lewis. Nice to have you, Guy. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So Mueller provided a little bit of context. The New York Times report about Rosenstein allegedly talking about wearing a wire to record the president and also invoking the 25th Amendment to remove him. Was that report kind of the last straw? Is this firing inevitable?
I think so, Rutabaga. I think Rod's in the hot seat right now, not only because of this whole issue about wearing a wire, which is probably a joke. He probably said it and was probably just trying to make light conversation. But Andy McCabe, the other FBI official who was fired, apparently put it in a memo, recorded it, and then sent that memo. It got leaked out, of course, to the New York Times and was sent over to Mueller. So you got to believe that that on top of the Cohen matter, on top of Russia, on top of the other issues that Rod's handling, it's just the president's had enough.
All right, Counselor, so is the firing of the Assistant Attorney General who is overseeing the investigation, does that constitute obstruction of justice in your opinion?
Boy, some people are arguing, Elliot, that it does. I don't think personally it's a good move right now. I would wait for a lot of reasons in terms of firing him, but clearly he was over at the White House today. Clearly he had a serious conversation with General Kelly, the Chief of Staff. The president comes back in Thursday, and by all accounts they're going to have a heart-to-heart, and I'd be surprised if he stays on.
What does it mean for the Russia investigation in your opinion?
Well, I think that Noel Francisco is going to be, who's the number 3 in the Justice Department. He's the Solicitor General. He's the Robert Bork, if you will, of the Justice Department right now. And I think it'll be up to him to oversee and monitor that case. Very interesting, because he's a very conservative fellow, a Federalist Society guy, who's come out and said, I don't like special counsels. I don't like special counsel appointments, and he's a strong believer in executive power, i.e. the presidency.
Well, let me just say, I know we have another question, but Robert Bork was in the Justice Department when President Nixon famously fired the Attorney General. And so you think that that's something that this new guy at the Justice Department could do? Right?
Some people have called this now a slow Saturday night massacre. And that may be what we're watching right now.
I was just going to ask you about that. That's what Congressman Adam Schiff had suggested earlier. So how does it play out then?
So, Rutabaga, I think that they're going to have a serious conversation Thursday. If the president is not convinced after this conversation that Rod's going to come in and sort of clamp down on this investigation, which I don't think Rod's going to give him any kind of assurance like that, then I think Rod's days are numbered. I mean, look what the president said. He said that there's a stench in the Justice Department. Look, Rod or the Attorney General or both, I think their days are numbered.
Well, meanwhile, Robert Mueller continues his investigation. We'll see how this impacts it.
Yes, sir.
Guy Lewis, thank you very much. Always great talking to you.